Have you ever had a bad day at the park? I'm sure it happens to everyone. The park's too busy, slow operations, your favorite ride is closed. Well, today, I'm going to talk about my worst day ever at an amusement park. All right, as a disclaimer, I want to make sure you understand I'm not an overly negative person. This video was made for entertainment purposes only, and I hope I don't offend anybody who's a fan of this park that I'm about to talk about. Please note, I don't hold anything against this park. Alright, on with the video. It was September in the year 2013, and I was excited to go visit Six Flags Magic Mountain for the first time. I grew up on the East Coast, so when I finally took a trip out west, Six Flags was definitely on my itinerary. The day started out like any other day. Going to a park, we arrived early just in time for rope drop. Full Throttle was the new ride, and since X2 was closed for maintenance, my wife and I made a beeline right for Full Throttle. So yeah, right off, I was disappointed that X2 was closed. This was a coaster that's been on my bucket list for some time. But I moved on, and I was just excited that I was finally at Six Flags Magic Mountain. After Full Throttle, which was great, we worked our way over to Goliath. That's when our second issue started to arise, which was the temperature. And wow, was it getting hot. It wasn't even noon yet, and the temperature was already over 100 degrees. By the time we got off of Goliath, both me and my wife were very extremely thirsty. Thankfully, we were able to pick up a souvenir cup before making our way on over to the worst roller coaster of all time, Green Lantern First Flight. Now, you would think since this park is built alongside a desert, their show buildings would have like AC or fans even. Nope, the building for Green Lantern had nothing, so they actually made us wait outside because it was too hot to wait inside. Well, after riding Green Lantern and miraculously not breaking any bones, it was time for more water. Walking across the unshaded blacktop, which since this is a Six Flags park, basically no shade, was unbearable. A few of the food stands had little shading, so just waiting in line to get a drink was even worse. Riddler's Revenge was the next coaster on our list to tackle, but because of the slow operations, I was hesitant to ride. I watched trains just sitting on the brake run for like 10 minutes, baking everyone alive. Thankfully, when I rode, we almost barely sat on the brake run, so that was good. As the rest of the day went basically like ride a coaster, get a drink, repeat. But that pattern came to a halt with every coaster we walked up to that was closed. X2, closed. Revolution, closed. Scream, closed. Colossus, not Twisted Colossus at the time, closed. And Batman the Ride, closed. It's unfortunate when one coaster is closed, but when multiple rides are closed, it's truly discouraging. I also didn't ride Viper or Superman. I didn't want to get a headache from Viper, and the line for Superman was just way too long, and it was so hot, so I didn't ride those. When we finally left the park, it was 112 degrees outside. I don't think we could have stayed any longer. We only rode each attraction once, but thankfully I got to ride something. So yeah, my first time to Six Flags Magic Mountain wasn't a magical one, but not enough to stop me from coming back. I mean, come on, I still have a good number of credits to collect. Just gotta make sure I go when it's not as hot outside. Thankfully, I did get to ride Tatsu, which was another of the roller coasters that was on my to-do list. And that ride was open, so good job there, Six Flags. Well, that was basically my first experience of Six Flags Magic Mountain. And I'm not going to hold it all against Six Flags. I mean, the heat was pretty bad this day, and unfortunately, the weather's kind of out of your hands, even though I know Six Flags would kind of like to play God and control the weather, but they can't. But having like 5 roller coasters closed was, to me, is like unexcusable. If I come to your park, I expect to have majority of your rides open, but 5 roller coasters closed is crazy. Unfortunately, I do hear that is kind of the trend now for Six Flags Magic Mountain, as they are now open every single day of the year. So I really do hope to get back to Six Flags. I really don't want this to be my only experience of Six Flags Magic Mountain. Of course, I will go back. I just love California. I'm looking forward to hit some more parks out there. I don't think I'll make it there this year, but hopefully here in the near future. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'd love to hear your stories about your bad days at an amusement park. Tell me all about it in the comments below. All right, well, that will do it for today's video. Please stay tuned for more great content coming your way from XscreamThrills.